Oh, man. Yeah, thank you guys. This is so rad. This is the first time we've done this. Obviously, the school is brand new, and I thought it would be something rad that we do like once a month where we get somebody to come in and talk about doing the thing, doing the music stuff. Yeah, I know most of all of you. You guys know who I am. This is my buddy Mike McDermott, drummer extraordinaire for a bunch of bands. I met Mike. Oh God, I can't remember even the first show we played with Bouncing Souls. It had to have been in like 2006 or something, right. Sometime around there. We did some shows in Europe together. And it's funny, I was going through all of my stuff recently, and I found a poster from the Milkweg show that we did.
You sent me that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I love that. I started doing putting those all in like frames and putting them up as art.
Yeah.
Myself, so.
I've got rolls and rolls of them. So yeah, this is just going to be sort of like a lighthearted thing, and then we'll open it up if anybody's got any questions or stuff like that. But the first thing I wanted to ask, so what initially, when you were a kid, got you into what was like the first thing when you were like, okay, music is... What was the thing that kind of caught your attention?
I was told that I took my Mickey Mouse drum set way too seriously, and just and had a thing, and then I created just that. I think you gravitate towards your thing, whatever it is. You see paintings, and then you're like, you want to figure out how to do that, and so you see some kids, and you're like, did you do that with your fingers? Like that's finger paint, or like Miles the Music Kid. I don't know if you know who that kid is.
Oh yeah.
But this kid is a genius, and so you just gravitate, you figure it out. I just gravitated towards drums, the Mickey Mouse thing way too seriously, and then I transformed, which are now like Lowe's or Home Depot buckets.
Yeah.
But you didn't have those; they were just white buckets back in the day, right? If you're old, you know. And so those, and in whatever I could have. I mean, there was a brown old milk carton that I remember. I think I stuffed an old plastic musket in that I had, and then I could pull it back, and then I could put the bucket on that.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. I had a practice pad. We would go eat at this restaurant, and there was A to Z music next door. And so
where was this at?
Outside of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Bucks County.
Yeah.
So kids get done eating, parents want to have coffee. We're like, we want to go next door. And so, my sister chose guitar, the other sister chose flute, and I gravitated. There's drums. Wow, oh my God, there's drums. And so,
did you guys play together?
No, God, not at all. No Partridge Family.
Yeah,
not at all. Oh my God. And I think I inherited the guitar somehow, and I don't know why I don't have it, but that didn't last long.
Yeah.
And just that, I got a practice pad and went from buckets to whatever I could get, coffee cans and coffee. There's some small, so I would Rototom style, and my dad had an old chair in his shop that was slatted.
Yeah.
So the coffee cup fit. You could do two slats to two slats, and I could get 3 coffee cans.
So drums was the first instrument.
Only instrument. I still suck at drums. I'm still trying to figure that out every day. So there's no reason to be no. Can do other stuff, but not. I would never not at all. Not that guy. That's I want to do. No. Still, I feel like I still learn daily.
Yeah.
Awful. Yeah. So no.
I feel exactly the same.
So no, only instrument. My mother was a concert pianist and led the church choir, the church organist and stuff. And I could have done that, but I never did that.
Yeah.
That was right up above, and she would flash the lights and be like, I don't know what you're playing, but it's not in that signature.
So when you were just getting started and stuff, what were some of your first musical or drumming influences? Who were you I want to sound like that, or like were you just kind of playing along to anything?
I had like 2 older sisters, one definitively a little older and not closer to 10 years. So like that was having that was my guiding light right there.
Yeah.
And it was like, you've got to listen to John Bonham, dude. You have to listen to Led Zeppelin, John Bonham.
Yeah.
I mean, she was just that. You're born in 61 like that. You're just like that kind of By the time your little brother is playing drums, you're like, this is what you're doing, and just everything that's so she sort of like just did that until I was old enough to like when you get in high school and your friends and you can
you start figuring out stuff
like Bonham straight out, and I sound nothing like Bonham. I almost feel like it's like a disservice to try to even sound like Bonham. There's a couple cats that like can sound like Bonham, you know what I mean, but like.
Yeah, but I think that's the same thing with like, I don't know, I love Van Halen, but I don't play anything that sounds like that.
Well, that's that's another that's like a high mark.
Yeah.
Both, everybody in that band, really.
Yeah.
So I had a chance to maybe play with David Lee Roth a bunch of years ago.
Oh no!
Like,
really?
And since I've been in the Blackhearts, it was like And I sort of called some of our, our manager, Ed. I don't know if you know Ed, and I was like, Ed, man, it's like an 8-show run, but it sounds real odd. And and he was like, buddy, I don't know that I would do that. and I'm glad I did. Like, it turned like that, 8-show run, turned into this thing that, I was like, wow. But at first you're like, I mean, he's crazy, but do you do that?
Yeah.
You're like, it's only maybe.
Well, I mean, like 8 shows at least you'd have a story at the end of it, I guess.
Maybe, yeah, good or bad, right?
Yeah. So when you were first going to shows and listening to records, what was sort of like the stuff that you like when you started getting more serious about drums and stuff like that, the things that you were listening to, like were there any particular records that where you like latched onto and you were starting to kind of like try to play along with and all that stuff besides like Led Zeppelin? Like,
no, I didn't. Zeppelin really wasn't the thing. I did AC/DC, Back in Black.
Yeah.
Phil Rudd makes you think that you can play just enough to where you're like, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then when you get older, you're like, wow, I was nowhere near Phil Rudd. But he makes you like, he's like, come on, you'll think you're there.
Yeah.
And it gives you, that, or doing anything, if you get a little confidence, you know what I mean, that goes a long way. And so to being like,
it's like playing Ramones songs,
but like then later on you're like, oh, all the nuance that he had. But for that moment, so Phil Rudd really was the thing. I would go steal. I mean, we were all probably record people here, so I had and the record player behind me. Through trial and error, had to go up on like towels because it would skip due to the drums, and so that Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Damn the Torpedoes, Stan Lynch, Yes was pretty some like not the older Yes, but some of the guys that came up but even that then you realize you're like I can't play Alan White shit but just stuff like that, anything that I would just go up but those were 2. AC/DC, Back in Black, like
I feel like AC/DC and the Ramones are those bands that are like you can get the songs together, but like you were saying, when you start to realize the nuance of it, like when anybody ever plays like a Ramones song, it never sounds right. You know what I mean? Like because of the way that they did it, and the way that they did it, it's like actually pretty difficult. It's just
because they're trying to make it sound right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always thought it was crazy that Marky Ramone had a remote hi-hat. Like, he had one over here.
Yeah.
It's strange.
First time I saw that was Bill Stevenson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then years later I found out that he had bursitis in his shoulder, and this hurt, but this was like...
yeah. From the Descendants.
But I went immediately, like the next day I went to this, I was like, Reno, like the guy where I was playing with, I was like, we have to go get that hi-hat. I have to get that.
Did you try it?
Oh, immediately. No, I saw it and I was like, that makes sense. And so, I went and got a... Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you ever take lessons?
Yeah, in 4th grade. So I loved it. And then like fourth grade is when, like, at least for us in elementary school, they started offering band. Mm-hmm. And so the teacher came around and he would be like, every day, it would be like, who wants to play this? Who wants to play that? And there was a bunch of kids would get up and go out into the hall and blah, blah, blah. And the day that they were like, who wants to play drums? And like a bunch of us raised our hand and we went out in the hall. And he's like, okay, everybody just do this. And like kids were like, and they were like, okay, no, not you, Ricky, not you, Paul. And there was like,
yeah.
And like a couple of us lasted through his little like thing. And like, and next thing we knew, we were drummers in the band. Like,
that's awesome.
But that's literally, how it started. Then at that point, that's when my parents were like, maybe we should get him off buckets.
Yeah.
Maybe buckets is not the way.
What was your first band that you had whenever you were, like, did you have a high school? I'm sure you had a high school band.
No, I remember, but like the first thing, I feel like I was going, and I don't even know their names. I know I can remember kind of where it was, like the house even. But they were like older kids, and somehow or another, it was like, bring your drums over. And I remember going over there a bunch of Saturdays. My dad and I would like load up drums and go. Yeah. And it didn't really last too long. And then like, I didn't do like, not immediately. You know what I mean? Like I think, I think that's like sometimes, like you got to put in your time a little bit. You have to figure out what you're doing first before you can like do it with other people. Yeah. I think, I have an analogy, but I won't use it in this room. Whenever I was in high school, I don't know. I like the same thing though. Like I can't even remember what his name was, but he was like one of the only kids that had a drum set. Yep. That I knew at school, and then we played together for however long, and then there was another drummer, and then and we ended up playing shows. But I started that probably like in my teenage years, like where you'd have, and my parents realized, and my mother being a musician would probably helped, but like it was easier for people to bring stuff over to our basement than it was to load up all of my stuff and take it over to somebody else's for a couple hours, and then, you know what I mean? So they're like, thankfully, and again, you need that as a parent, like any musician, doesn't matter what you play. It's probably worse for like trumpet players or, but I mean like, but you have to, the parents really have to be like, okay, can we do this, honey? We can do this. We're going to back him, right? And like, you have to, even your siblings, my sister's like, God, I would hate when you play the drums. I'd go up to my room and I'd be like, now she's like, God, I love to watch you play. And I'm like,
That's awesome.
So, but yeah.
Well, let's see. So during high school and stuff, like, what was, how did you first meet all the guys in Bouncing Souls?
Oh God, dude, those dudes I met riding around, it's probably like 96, 97, and they would ride their BMX bikes around the Lower East Side, but I was doing some ska stuff.
Oh, yeah, what was the ska?
Like Stubborn All-Stars.
Oh, yeah.
Skitterbox, Slackers were in the space, like it was like a couple doors down from the Hells Angels spot. Yeah. So like you never got messed with, just don't park in their spots and you're I didn't see them, but I didn't know them.
What was it like? Because I'm sure, everybody here is probably from Texas. What was it like growing up in that Lower East Side kind of area back then? Because that was probably like the early 90s, mid 90s. Well, I moved to New York in like 92, 93. Yeah. And that was hellish. Yeah, and lived like on 14th, but between First and A. Oh wow! And literally, when I popped the trunk on my Subaru, there was like people that were just like, "What do you got?" Like, yeah. What do you have? And we had to like put nails in the windows because one day we woke up and there was a dude like half in the window. Yeah. And that was a little scary. So you put nails in so that it would never go up above, and then you could depending upon how much breeze you wanted. And it was just like the last one was just high enough that like
there's no head that's going to get in.
Yeah.
You might get an arm in, but at that point, then that's bad for you.
Yeah. What were the clubs that were active like around then? Because
God, like Space at Chase. I mean, CB's was still heavy. Brownies. I mean, just all sorts of stuff. I mean, so many clubs.
I only got to play CBGB's once, like right before it closed.
Yeah,
which was
too.
Which was
bad
rad. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That's awesome. Was that like? Were you playing in Murphy's Law before Bouncing Souls?
Yeah. Murphy's Law was like '93.
Yeah.
And that like just from where was it? The name of the rehearsal space, but it was like 30th. There's like that music building on 30th, not 38th. There's the music building. I don't know if anybody saw, but Madonna. There's like the famous music building in New York City. It's 38th and 8th, and it's like 12 floors of rehearsal spaces that you can go in. A lot of people live in them. There's no showers, but there's a communal bathroom on every floor.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, everybody has gone there, lived there, worked there. And she, for the month of May, I think she's paying everybody's rent.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like a couple mil.
That's crazy.
Which is kind of, I mean, she lived there for the longest time.
That's awesome.
What was your question?
It was just about Murphy's Law and stuff like that.
So I was rehearsing with somebody, and like Todd and Chuck saw me with somebody. Actually, the Cycle Sluts from Hell.
No.
You don't know the Cycle Sluts from Hell? I Wish You Were a Beer.
No.
Made famous by Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, man.
Kenny Laguna managed them. So I was dating Honey One Percenter, and so we were having band practice, but that bit was it was not. And so they saw me, and they were like, hey, and I loved Murphy's Law. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I do know why, but I mean, it's fun, but like, it's very...
Maybe they don't like anybody familiar with Murphy's Law.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just very, very elementary. And again, Jimmy's one of my best friends, but I mean, it's just very. It used to be very, just sort of very jockey kind of, and none of them were jocks, which was the odd thing about I don't want to say meatheady, but it was like, but the music itself was amazing, and I mean, and Todd Youth was still one of my favorite guitar players.
Yeah, R.I.P. man.
Yeah. So no, I did that. That was like 93 to maybe up into like almost 95.
Yeah.
And then Todd and I did a thing called Larva. Once we heard Smashing Pumpkins' Siamese Dream, and he was like, we have to do that. Yeah. He really just wanted money for an engagement ring, so we needed to find a small label to sign a deal and a publishing deal so that he could get But it was like, hurry up, let's do it. And we were in the music building on 38th and 8th, and that's how it all sort of started.
That's awesome.
Anyway, but no, I was in Murphy's Law before them.
Yeah.
I was in, it was probably by that point it was 99, late 99, and I'm in Mephistopheles.
Which
is New York's satanic ska band, which is not satanic at all. And we opened up for them, at the Troc. It was them and H2O. But it was, and unbeknownst to me, it was the Bouncing Souls drummer, Shal, his last show.
Yeah.
He was having some issues mentally and physically, mostly mental, and then physical due to the mental. And that was his last show. But it certainly looked like something was wrong.
Yeah.
The oddest thing in the world. I mean, I sat up in the Troc is like an old burlesque theater in Philly, in Chinatown. And it's a gorgeous theater.
It's awesome.
Probably about 1,400 people. And I sat in the balcony that night and I'm like, I don't get it. How do all these people like this band? They suck. They're horrible. Well, it's because they're all so disconnected, the drummer and everybody.
Yeah.
That's how I met them. And then... But then back to Meth. So then when they had an ad out and I called...
Oh, they put an ad out?
They had an ad out in the Village Voice that were Bouncing Souls looking for a drummer. And and I was painting at one point. And somebody was like, hey, man, the Bouncing Souls are looking for a drummer. And so I called.
Yeah.
And when I got a call back, they were like, hi. They were like, are you the original drummer of Mephistopheles, Mike Reich? Great guy. Not the greatest drummer in the world.
Yeah.
But he went, are you are you the Mike from the first record or Mike from the show that at the truck like just last year? And I was like, oh, I was playing with meth. And he goes, oh, okay, cool. I sat on the steps and watched you.
Yeah.
And so then that's how, and that was Pete. But they said they got a whole bunch of like they had an answering machine at the space. And I heard some of them and it was like, yo, this is Joey from Queens. I got fucking drums. Let's fucking do this. Yeah. I mean, like literally, I'm not kidding. Like that's actual verbatim. And they'd be like, are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me. Like,
yeah.
But just, so.
That's insane.
Yeah. No, I got fucking drums.
That's different era for sure. So
I mean, answering machines.
Yeah, beepers,
just
payphones,
everything else.
So, what were some of those first early like Bouncing Souls tours like? Did you guys have the box truck like right out of the gate, or when did that thing come into play? They toured in this like box truck that had bunks and stuff in it,
like a white box truck, Bay Ridge box truck. They bought like not long before me.
Yeah,
and they bought it for $30,000. And so when you walked, you had the driver passenger door. When you went through the slide and you went in, there were cubbies along the bottom for everybody, and then there was the first bunk. And then this was my bunk. This is Pete's bunk.
Yeah,
and there was like a middle, and you had a window, which on tour buses you do not have, and opened with a screen. So the middle bunk had nothing.
Yeah.
And it had like a hangover. If you see the box trucks have a hangover, like the cab.
Yeah.
So then there were two bunks on top. One that hung over the driver, and then the back one hung over the back lounge. Man. And then, so yeah, I mean, you were in there, right?
Yeah.
So you've been, so you go in, then there's all the bunks, and then we had like a metal guy fabricate two like love seats that also acted as like shoe cubbies and storage and all that kind of stuff. And then the whole back was like a big like futon thing. They had worked at a futon shop when they first started out as a band. So when we needed stuff, they literally went back to like North Jersey and were like, because they still knew the people. And they were like, we need to make futons for the truck, and she's like, all right, go in the back. And I mean, that's what they used to do. They would, like it started with Keeneland because he's just very artistic. And and it was hand stitched. I mean, these were old good futons, and so he would be hand stitching the stuff, and the souls then. He'd be like, my friends need jobs. And so then he brought them in, but then they would like sleep in the back on old mattresses and sew mattresses. So
I love the like when the band has the one guy that can get everybody a job
all the
somewhere.
Art, every art, all the art. And if you and so anyway, and the entire box truck is stickers. Everything was stickered, every inch of it, and all stickered by him. Yeah. You were not allowed to sticker, and he would actually be like, actually no, he's left-handed, so he would look and he'd be like, and he'd find the one spot that you could put the sticker because you don't want to like cover up another sticker, but I mean, and literally covered. There was not an inch that was not covered in that.
Was that Brian?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But all the art, everything that they ever did, all the T-shirt designs, everything is him.
Oh, Brian's the bass player, and he's a tattooer as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
For years, we were like, you should tattoo, and he's like, ah.
And now he's a tattooer. That's awesome. So what were some hard truths or skills that you quickly had to learn on those early tours like that? Like some things that maybe you were like, oh... Because had you toured much before Bouncing Souls, or were you just kind of playing around?
Oh no, I had been touring like Murphy's.
Yeah.
So I mean, I started super duper touring like probably like 92.
Yeah. What were some of those things like even then?
Well, I mean, going to Europe in the early 90s was like you could even still sort of see the difference between East and West Germany still. In the color. Like literally you could be like, wow, whoa, there's color. Wow, it's black and white color. Like it still was like sort of like that, It wasn't that,
But I was just thinking like things where you're like, oh man, I didn't think about I don't know, just some things that you kind of
think about calling home and going to like the edge of the street, and you got to like look down one way. It used to be yellow, but then it turned pink, and you'd be like, I see it, and you would walk to it, and then hopefully, but you either when you got to it, inevitably it would be like, fuck. This is a card phone, and like I only have coins. Or you'd get there, and you'd be like, "Fuck, this is a coin phone. I only have." But you could call home from Europe with like a cut, like you know, what I mean, like 2 marks.
Yeah.
And literally feed just some coins into a machine and be like, "Hi, you can call home." I mean,
yeah, that
got
was
a little expensive. No, things like that. I mean, little stupid stuff like that. But it really just had to. When you start to tour, it's like, and it's like it's really being part of a team. Mm-hmm. It's getting along. It's like doing your part, not being a jerk. I mean, you know,
the doing your part thing, I think is,
I mean, carrying your load.
Yeah.
But like musically, personally, professionally. I mean,
yeah.
You know, like you have to, really the only thing that matters is that 1 hour a night.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, but you have to be there. Like, there's always the guy who's like, it's loadout. Where's Ricky? You know, and you know, or the guy who can't. But and you find like you know, there's the dude who likes to. I used to like to play. You know, not on in any game.
Yeah.
But I loved trailer Tetris.
Yes.
Where you got to fit all this shit in the trailer.
Like, yeah. There's always somebody who's like incredible at it.
There's that guy, and there's also the guy who's like
good at the trailer.
Does the trailer, like,
yeah.
And will like you got to hump until there's enough to actually start to do it, you know, until it's all out of the way. For me, being the drummer, I would really want to get a lot of. I didn't want anybody because I don't really want to be that, you know, like where it's like he doesn't, you know. So I would get all my stuff, especially my heavier shit, and then get to the trailer and then start to be trailer guy, But just that, like being a good friend, being a great bandmate.
That's the thing. I remember one of the hardest tours that I ever did was those Warped tours that Gamblers did in 2005 and 2010, and the one in 2000. In both of them, everybody had like a task, because I know you guys did a bunch of those.
Yeah, man.
But like everybody had a weird job that they had to do in the day, and I remember one of mine was filling up the camp showers, because we didn't have showers on our bus. And we couldn't do hotel rooms.
You can thank the Bouncing Souls for that.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, I mean, because that started 96.
Yeah.
And when we started doing camp showers in like 2000, 2001, people are like, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So like, I'm not that we were the
originators.
But I'll tell you what, I also didn't fucking hear bromance before we started using bromance, and then all of a sudden bromance broke out. I'm like, you can't tell me that the Bouncing Souls and Hot Water Music created a word that is, you know.
Yeah.
Like mysteriously.
Yeah. Man.
Hold on your camp shower. Now here was the trick. On the camp shower, because there's only that little shitty piece of plastic that like will rip after so the trick, but there's a whole panel that you could do. So the trick is getting a piece of PVC pipe that runs the entire length of the shower, and then you slit a length in one end and slide the pipe all the way through.
Yeah.
Because then there's also that. Also getting water means you're probably on your bike riding down to catering, so then you got to ride back. So like this thing is sloshing.
Yeah,
you know?
I had a wagon, and we ended up having like, I think we started with just one to see what it would be like, and by the end of the tour we had 5, and so it was my job to find the water. And so I would just like scan the perimeter every morning to see where there was like an open like hose spigot thing. And then I would fill them all up and then open up the trailer door and let them all sit out in the sun all day so everybody could take hot showers. They can actually get too hot.
They can get scalding hot.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was so nice. I mean, there's also Warped Tour is so dusty and crappy all the time that like having this little thing that you can go over to and be like, and sort of be like, cool. Here I am. I'm ready to go do for whatever.
It's crazy that it's not happening anymore. Did you get to go to one, Logan, or Warped Tours at all? That was a rough one. We did the first one in a van and trailer for the whole thing in 2005, and it was bad.
I thought the box truck was bad.
the van and trailer, there's photos of me and Pat sleeping underneath the trailer just because it was shaded, and it was gnarly. Let's see. So, do you remember, like with Bouncing Souls and stuff like that, when, you just talked about Europe, like going out and seeing that, the band had reached like a wider audience, kind of just like outside of the region, like where you're like, whoa, we're in Hamburg and people are singing along. Like, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, like whenever you go, I think people anywhere other than here love music. I mean, we love music. We're in Austin, we're a music town, but I mean, you go to Bielefeld, Germany, or you go to you'll anywhere, and kids are just starving. I mean, there's kids like especially now during festival season that are just like collecting bracelets after bracelets, man. Like Reading, Leeds, Glastonbury, like whatever, Rock'em Ring, Rock'em C, like, and they're just, by the end of the summer, these kids are like, they're just starving and they are so hungry, they'll camp out for days and just be like, they just love it. It's like it's feral. Yeah. Here, you're just like, I don't want to do that. Like, it's too hot. You would like, have you had shit like that here? Like, I mean, to a degree, but like, you don't really see the camping. Like, there's still, I mean, even Coachella, you know what I mean? There's like not just full camping. I mean, there's glamping. Some glamping or whatever. You're going to like a hotel out in the desert. I mean, like, go live in a tent for 3 days, man. Like those, and because sometimes you have to drive your bus or
it's insane.
Like sort of like through that section, and you see everybody, and you're like, wow. And you're like on the second or third day, and you're like, holy crap. Wow, this is like...
Yeah. I remember going, at Glastonbury, because they also don't have like... It's like an eco-friendly festival, and so it's a little smelly.
But just that, it's always fun when you go somewhere and people anywhere. I mean, my mother's basement is still my favorite. So any place other than that, is amazing.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I'm like, wow.
No, yeah, it's insane. I love that. It's rad that you moved here and that we could do this here. Moving along, like with Bouncing Souls stuff, is there any particular record that you look back on as like your favorite out of all of them that you made? I know I was just listening to the Gold one the other day because we were talking about Ted Hutt.
Dude, that was wild. Summer Vacation just hit 25 years.
Oh, that's rad.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like Anchors Away.
Okay.
It's kind of like my thing.
Yeah.
It's sort of when I felt real good. Gold record. Ted Hutt, great producer, English guy, but he'd be like, just give me a chorus. And so I'd play like a chorus, like, yeah, just do a straight chorus, do a chorus, or do a big fill into a chorus. And I left that.
So you were doing like sections of songs instead of playing the full song.
We knew all the songs, but then you got in there and you like, but like when you go to a studio, sometimes you're like, and even like when I recorded my space, you record yourself at all? And so sometimes you're like, I don't know if anybody, I'm just looking at you, but because you have the Alp Ivy. But if you do that, like, and you're like, I think take one was good. Or like, man, the third take, I finally started to get it. You didn't have that sense. Like, I sort of was telling you that story, like, you had a little, maybe too much to drink when we got done, and I don't drink at all, so that was not good. And it was also the first time there was Guitar Hero. And so I'm playing Guitar Hero, and I'm playing like Bad Religion's 20% or whatever. Yeah. And then like all of a sudden, now we were on Epitaph, so having the president of the label show up. I mean, but show up when everybody's gone and it's over. But he showed up because he knew that they had not a lot of people these things weren't out. But he knew that Sound City, because that's where we did it, got a Guitar Hero. And so Gerwitz specifically came. So I'm like, and he's like, hey, man. And I'm like, and then I was just like, here, you play. And then I was staying with Greg.
Yeah.
Punk Rock Bully. It's right around this time.
Yeah.
Because Johnny Madcap came to pick them up.
Wow.
And I think Johnny Madcap, Pete, Brian, and Kate drove out to Vegas.
Yeah.
For Punk Rock Bowling. And then I went home with Greg, and then I flew home to Philly the next day.
Yeah, and that was.
But I didn't have any concept of like. So hearing the record for the first time, I was like, that's kind of when I feel like I really first absorbed the record.
Yeah, because Ted, so he kind of pieced it a little bit from sections and
Ted
stuff.
did.
Yeah,
Ted's a mad. He has a wand.
We're working with him in a couple of months.
He's great.
He's going to come out here.
Heard or seen him do. I mean, even like the Murphys dudes, all those guys are like in love with him. I love him. Great dude, great producer.
Yeah, Ted started that band Flogging Molly, and then he and then he left. Or did he play with them? I don't know, but
I don't think
he's produced a bunch of records for a bunch of bands. He did a Gamblers record in 2012, and we're gonna do another one with him.
You know Audra May? He did a great Audra May record.
You were telling me about your 2-a-day practice regime, which I was like, whoa. What's so how often are you doing that, and what does that look like when you first sit down?
It depends upon like what I'm getting ready for.
Yeah.
Mondays are fully a 2-a-day. And then whatever I have to, again, whatever I'm going, and it's just sort of we don't really rehearse a ton.
Yeah.
So I kind of, and you know how like by the time you're like 2 or 3 days into tour, you're like, wow, we're really hitting stride now. And so I try to like just do that. I have like a show. Here, I'll do it again. I can do this. This is easy. I just play along to stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I put this on in my spot.
Yeah.
And then
I go for it.
Play the fuck along to it. And I just, some have drums.
Is that the live stuff?
But this is Wanaka. Yeah. This is in New Zealand. So I try to do that.
So it's like recordings of the live shows.
Stuff that because that's just where we're at.
Yeah.
Plus it gives that live energy. Like I like to sort of be in the when just hearing her talk. I start to go into those routines of okay, here's where I'm tuning. Here's
Yeah.
Some of them have full band stuff. Some of them are no drums.
Yeah, so you're getting those recordings from the front of house guy.
Yeah, or our monitor guy.
Yeah.
Just so it's a great practice tool. That watching videos is a great of yourself when you just sort of so you can see it. Sometimes seeing is a little. It's like Monday morning film for football guys.
Let's go back to the tape. Yeah.
What did I do yesterday that I shouldn't have done? What was great?
Yeah.
And just that. It depends upon what I'm doing. I write it all down, so I date it, I time it. A good one that I just sort of started doing a bunch of years ago was an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
I had a doctor. And he's like, it'll give you pretty good. He's like, if you want complete, real great measurements, like way more accurate than you get the band thing.
Yeah.
He's like, but these will give you at least kind of what your heart rate is going between, how much. And so that, even if I go from say 9 to 11, if I go from 9 to 11, that's 2 hours. But if this tells me that I've actually been physically playing drums for 93 minutes, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's, I'm like, I still, or it just gives me that,
that's
accountability, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I know that I'm moving and
I'm sure that's the thing.
Sort of to a standard.
Yeah. That kind of ties into some of the other things I wanted to ask with just how hard a lot of this stuff is on joints and just your body traveling around, even sleeping in buses, that would wreck my whole left side because I'm
Sammy K's van, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Uncle Krusty's wagon, like that. Krusty with a K.
Yeah.
Sleeping on the floor. But I would do that. I would leave the bus and go sleep on Krusty's floor for and ride. But you learn to sort of become you just sort of become pliable. And and I think you I lose bone density, but you sort of become more of a.
I feel like I got smarter about what I needed to kind of get comfortable in any situation, sort of like the little pads and stuff, or like, I don't know, even in the bus and stuff too.
I think like stretching is big. Just being mindful of like what you do. I mean, you know, if you've ever drank too much, like way too much or something, and you know how you feel the next day, like, so like, try to do that though, but you're like in a van or in a box truck.
Yeah, I always thought that, you know, like,
so like, you know, the recovering is not going to.
Yeah, but like I feel like with playing in bands, like every single person that I meet that does it like for like full time and all that stuff, it's not like a partying thing at all, like touring around, you know what I mean? Like,
I can't see you, so good.
There you go.
I want to see you.
Yes.
See you.
But you know, like I think that kind of longevity thing is really important as far as just like staying hydrated and taking care of yourself and traveling around.
But you know, I mean, you see it more as we've gotten older. But I mean, like, you used to see, and there was always that. There's always the one kid on tour, and you'd be like, oh man. Yeah. I mean, like Heiko. Remember, rest in peace, Heiko. But I mean, like from One Man Army. Like there's always just you always knew Heiko was going to fucking bring it. Like. And, you know, especially they were, like, one of the opening bands. So, like, you would just look over while you're playing. You'd be like, you know, just people like that. You would know who was going to, like...
Be insane.
Know, I mean, who would get wilding out. Like,
yeah. How do you approach your grip and stroke stuff with your sticks?
Super personal, bro.
Yeah. Come on. We got really some drummers in here that want to know.
There's that new thing. You see that thing that's like this weird. It almost looks like your uncle made it. Like you take a drumstick and there's this like black. It almost looks like it's rubber banded on. Yeah. And he's like, it's to help you. And you're like, no, you just play. Like all this like stupid, you know, just play. Just play.
Yeah.
I mean, they're stretching. Do you play drums? Do you start stretching now? Seriously, I'm not kidding. Like, and not like. But if you want to do yoga. I mean, anything, man, because it is hard on you, and like even just little things, like all the time. Like you drive, okay, so you're driving, your steering wheel is great for like, you know, I just sit there, I just crack now. I just put all the time, just keeping it, you know, always moving, always stretching, because it's vital to what kind of we do. You know what I mean? Anybody else play drums? Yeah, you know, yeah, okay. You got to stretch. I mean, stretching is just, and especially at our age, I mean, but just that, taking care of yourself. Yeah. You know, I mean, maybe some collagen. I don't know if you want to start collagen, but I like collagen. She probably likes collagen. Things, just like, I mean, but just being good to yourself is not necessarily for your joints. That's more for your skin. Like, yeah, but it's good for all around, but I think. Just doing that, I have like a massager, like a little handheld thing that I just that, more care for my body. But the tennis balls, all that stuff. Yeah. Anything. I mean, being mindful of you know kind of how your body is, you know, and like you want to get yourself up for like the task of what you're trying to do. And so like, how do you do that? You know, approach it like an athlete. There was a great, like yesterday, I don't have my watch on, but like my heart rate went from between 80 and 210. I mean, I was playing Bad Religion records. So that was but like that, there was a study done by the BBC where Clem Burke from Blondie went and was hooked up, went all through the whole thing, and like you get up over 170, man. Like that's professional athlete. Like that's where they're running. Like so, like you're pushing 180, 190, like playing like, and for you know that was like a half hour. It's like you know Bad Religion that's set of like a whole record. Like I want to like. Do that. Some records are like, you know, that's like my cardio, my exercise, like shit that'll sweat through. You know? Man, I saw Clem Burke play at Lovejoy's here in town with the singer from the Stranglers, Hugh Cornwell. Oh wow! And they just did a bunch of. It was all Strangler songs, but it was crazy that Clem Burke was playing drums. Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace. Great drummer. Yeah. We did a bunch of stuff with him. Oh really? Yeah. We even did like a Price is Right thing, like this weird Price is Right party. Oh yeah, and he played drums for he sat in with the Darts, you know the Darts. Yeah, sat in with, and then I got, which was great because he only played a couple songs, and then so it gave me time to for he and I to chat about some stuff. But yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, great dude.
Oh, how do you approach your bass drum? Are you a heel up or heel down person?
That would really probably depends upon what I'm playing, but mostly heel up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty heel up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty whatever. There's so many, you used to be able to look at drummers' kits and sort of be like, oh God, this guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like I could still kind of do that. You look and you're like, I'll tell you what though, Josh Eppard, Coheed and Cambria, dude, Warped Tour. Let's go back to Warped Tour.
Yeah.
That literally walked past that and I was like, what is up with that? Not really. And also though, you didn't know who they were. That's to be fair, and Warped Tour was a certain way, and then 2008 hit, and I remember it distinctly because I got a new drum kit, and I got a 20 and a 22 bass drums, but we weren't going to use them. They just all got delivered to the first day, and so while we're setting stuff up, and we're figuring out the kit, all you hear is and I was like, what happened to Warped Tour?
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, Ozfest ended. They had nowhere to go. Oh, shit. They're all here now. And I went, Dubs, set up the whole thing. And he went, why? And I went, it'll confuse them. They'll see double bass and they'll just stay. And even if they look and they're like, but it says Bouncing Souls. They're like, but he can. He's got double bass.
Yeah.
We'll just stay. Let's see what happens. And so that's,
There was, even in the one from 2005 that we did when we came back, I think that was the year of Attack, that band.
Yeah.
And a lot of that kind of stuff was going on.
See, I'm more action.
Yeah.
More action than Attack. You had all that good organ stuff, kind of like the darts, a little dartsy.
Well, let's see. How did you first meet Joan and Kenny? How did that come about? Let's
go back to Warped Tour. 2006. We were both on Warped Tour. There's two. I think they're back to it now. Two main stages. There was a point where they would separated them, and you were like, "That's weird. I can't." Because you used to be able to see you, and you would know, and you would see because the stage was kind of pitched, and you'd. Famously,
the way that they were set up for the audience.
So that everybody you could sort of just stay, even if you were you wanted to see this band next, you could still see that stage over there.
Yeah,
and it was then that's kind of how they're doing it now. That's why when you see videos of those Warped crowds, they're just First off, Warped's back kind of but it's also and the bands who they're getting. But it's just that they've comboed, and that was the whole thing, is to combo to have this one big thing. Anyway, so we were on. There's usually, I don't know what, maybe 8 bands, maybe 10 bands, and then there's a couple of that swing in and out of the main stage. So, but we were both on the same main stage every day.
Yeah,
and so you're backstage. Even the different stages, you like them, but you're separate. There's a different stage manager, different stage people. Everybody's kind of get back to your side, go to your side.
Yeah.
Go back to your, don't take water from over here.
The water thing.
Your water was real.
Water was crazy.
Don't come fucking.
It was gasoline and Mad Max. People would I've seen dudes jump over tables.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
TJ, our tour manager, and I remember he just grabbed some to put it up, and it was full on, when somebody ran from the back, threw down their radio, and took their shirt off and jumped over a table,
dude,
over the case of water.
Water was no joke.
Yeah,
water was no joke, man. I used to watch Jay Walker on a little mini bike with 6 cases of water.
Yeah.
Become brothers with Warped Tour. It's a special thing. The bands become special. You're I'm still friends with John Furpo. I don't know if you know him, but you just become it. It's a whole thing. You spend that much time with people in the environment,
in a really hard environment.
It really changes you, and you find out what you're made of. You find out what other people are made of, and and who are your friends, who aren't your friends.
Yeah,
how to and that we talked about in a band, how to be a teammate. You're asking in that environment for a lot of fucking people to be teammates. At one time.
Yeah,
there's got to be a lot of so. And it's rough. Anyway, we were on.
So that's when you met.
That's where we met
Joan and Kenny and Dougie.
Yeah, she. Nobody would find her in the back of my bus, but they could find her on her bus. Yeah. But nobody. So she'd come and hang out with me in the back of my bus.
Yeah.
Listen to T-Rex records and just chill out.
Yeah.
We were on the same team, so to speak. And just that being there's that. I was also there's a lot of, there's fucking Joan Jett. You know what I mean? I know her as just Joni, but there were a lot of people, even other bands, even Fat Mike would be Joan, and she'd be oh, fucking just,
she just wants to chill.
Go listen to reggae records. And she'd be okay. And even Greg was instructed to if people came up and were he was kind of my receptionist. Greg is a singer of the Bouncing Souls band. He had the table in the front lounge, and he actually even made a sign. The doctor is, and he would flip it. He's the doctor is in or the doctor is out.
Yeah.
And so people would come up and they'd be like, not here, man. Not seeing any patients yet. And so And that would be maybe because we were just hanging out in the back.
Yeah.
And it just started that way. And then she would come to see us. She came to Souls used to have this thing, which they did last year, which Kilograms got to do, Home for the Holidays, which is December 26, 27, 28, 29. Which is slightly inconvenient if you have a kid and you're hi, I'm leaving. It's the day after Christmas. Mm-hmm. Look, here's all the batteries.
Yeah.
No, but you put the batteries in beforehand, and your family comes. But it's extremely right at really right after Christmas.
Go
and so you go. It's 4 days with the Stone Pony, but it's whole days of events. And she would cut. They came out to that one time. And then Foley was just man, for the next week was just dude, I'll tell you, man, man, you're just, wow, all my friends, all the band, everybody's talking about it, and I'm she's if I ever need somebody, and I'm it was just so nice. I was bro, come on, man, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But again, very nice, and I'm wow, that's but she's my buddy, and you have Tommy Price. So then cut to 2015. And I'm living in Delray Beach, Florida, and I get and it's right around that. I think it's December 26th.
Yeah,
and it's 516, and I'm who's calling me from Long Island?
Yeah,
and I let it go, and I did the thing. It's hello, this is Kenny Laguna, and I was and immediately I went, oh, you don't know that I'm not in the Bouncing Souls anymore, and you're looking for Home for the Holiday tickets.
Oh, is that what you thought?
Immediately.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking anything else
at
all. I didn't even... he didn't say anything in the thing. He's just call me back. And I was Kenny's looking for...
Do you guys know who Kenny Laguna is?
Kenny is Joan's longtime partner, writing partner, business partner, best friend.
They're
buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays too. Does he still play in the band?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah, man. When he's not there, I can't say he's getting old. I'm getting old.
Didn't he? What's old. That song? He wrote a couple of
he wrote a ton of shit, and all that bubblegum.
Stuff sugar,
all that. But when his organ is at a hate myself, because he's kind of next to me but back a little.
Yeah.
And I look at him all the time, and I'm just I just miss that. It's just so deep and heavy. So just that. So he calls me, and then I call him back, and he's hello. He's I was just talking to Brian, and when I do, I have to do his voice because it's just unfortunately. Sorry, Kenny, wherever you're at. And he's I was talking to Brian and to see if we could borrow you, but he said you're a free agent. And I went from to what? Because I really thought I didn't really want to talk to it was still wounds. It's only a couple of years later.
Yeah.
I was the thing that I left. I sort of left the Souls to go do Rome, Rome from Sublime. But Rome, he was trying to get away from Sublime and wanted to do his thing. And we had this thing that was kind of the Clash meets Daft Punk, which was dope. And it just didn't. And I was But again, I mean, I'm glad that I left the Souls when I did. I think I rode that. They're still amazing. I mean, I still see them and go play with them.
Yeah.
But for me, that's anyway. So I was a little a little bummed with myself, and so I wasn't thinking anything other than that's why you were calling me, is that you wanted tickets. So but he said you're a free agent. And I was like, yes, I am, yes.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, just that, and unfortunately, Tommy was having health issues.
And
then it sort of just needed somebody to kind of
come in and
just be, just be quiet. Don't be a rock star drummer.
Yeah.
Just play the parts really well. And I always say, Tommy, when people are like, those are big shoes to fill, I'm like, Tommy Price wore fucking steel-toed boots.
Yeah.
So, not just big shoes to fill, he wore boots. And so, it was definitely a daunting task, because as easy, and if you're a drummer, sometimes, it's easier to be like, I'm wild, you're not listening to me, than it is to be like, oh, you're listening to everything I play, you can hear it all.
Yeah.
Shit, crap, shit, is it okay? Oh, God.
And also because that was the thing. One of the things that I was going to ask is just playing those songs that are basically American standards at this point.
Dude, every night that I go, I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me, man.
Yeah, they're just people who don't know who's singing them will know what those songs are. And
when I was in the Bouncing Souls, and people would be like, "Are you in a band? What's the name of your band?" I'd be the Bouncing Souls, and they'd be like, "I never heard of you." And now, there's points where people are, and they'll be like, "Joan, I don't know who that is," and I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, but and some maybe who have known, and I'm like, "Really? How the fuck do you know the Bouncing Souls?" But then I would go, I love rock and roll. Put another dime in the jukebox. Oh, I know that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, you know that song.
Yeah.
What are you, dead?
Yeah. So that, I mean, what's it as far as playing goes? How radically different is that between playing the Bouncing Souls kind of style of stuff versus sort of that big kind of glam drum sound that Joan does?
I think she, to a degree, I mean, I think she taught me how to play drums.
Oh, really?
I think she taught me how to play drums.
Yeah.
I just, and not that anything that she said, but it was just of how I interact with her. I want her to move a certain way. And so then you got to figure out how that, one of the first things she said to me, she's like, do you play with your eyes open or you play with your eyes closed? And I was like, oh, fuck, what kind of question is that? And in my brain, I'm like, okay, eyes closed. You're fully feeling the music and you're in it and you're just fully absorbed in it. Or eyes open and you're watching for any cue and you just want to see what the leader's going to say. Both answers are completely valid. I have no idea. And I'm like, well, it really depends upon the situation. I was like, I've been in dance hall or reggae bands, and they're throwing up numbers, and each number is something, or you need a cue. I was like, and then sometimes, and she's like, yeah, Tommy played with his eyes closed, and I was like, I'll play with my eyes open.
Yeah,
I think is the moral of that story. I was you don't have to say, so play with your eye.
Yeah.
I'll play with my eyes open, and I'll tell you what, man, I haven't taken my eyes off that lady in 10 years. I'm she's 62 inches from the front of my basement. First of all, there's no way I can. She's right there.
Yeah.
She's not getting lost. I mean, she's tiny, but she ain't that tiny.
How do you balance kind of playing those parts that are there and making it sort of your own? You know what I mean?
I mean, dude, we even dumbed him down from I think, and again, Tommy was his own entity, and he also came from a time where everybody was kind of everybody in the band could be a rock star, and he did a lot of shit, man. I mean, there's a lot of metal on his wall, man.
A bunch of Billy Idol stuff.
He's in the
Rebel Yell video.
I mean, so he could come in as his own thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it was that. It was what do you, what do you want? Like when I came in, like there was somebody else that was sort of like a huge drummer that was tapped to do Joan. But it was like he didn't. I went and played a show that was like, okay, not the greatest in the world. He went and played 6 songs at eight at all, like bad.
Yeah.
And then they came back to, we had another show, but he was tapped to go do a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like interim-y guy, going to do some stuff like here. And they came back to do another rehearsal, and like Dougie and Joan looked at each other and went, because I went home and I did like kind of what I talked about. Like I there's enough stuff, to be like, I could easily look and be like, Ridgefield Theater, holy shit, I fucked up, what did I do?
Like listening back to stuff.
I got on the stick, I did my homework, and I was like, I won't do that and that again. Okay, do that, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I came back to rehearsal, and I mean, I didn't know, I knew this. In my brain, I'm like, I'm going to play for Joan Jett. You find out stuff, and not that they were keeping anything from me, but it was more just like, you don't have to. They're running their own business.
Yeah.
Like you don't. Jeff Bezos doesn't tell anybody shit. He didn't have to, but but so I just did that. I went home and I was had I known that my life was on the line, but I did the same thing regardless of whether I knew my life was on the line or not. Which is like, for me, the moral of the story is like, whether I knew it or not, like that's do your due diligence. Like like it didn't even matter that I wanted her or anybody else to. I wanted to be like, okay,
I did that.
I'm okay.
Good. Yeah.
I'm good in this. I'm good. The skin feels good.
Yeah.
I didn't sell myself short.
Yeah, that's.
And so that happened.
What was that first show like? Do you remember it? The first Joan Jett show that you played? Because I could see. I mean, I would probably be like.
I feel like it was in a pawn shop, like out in the Midwest or like somewhere like the Dakotas. Like it was cold.
Yeah,
it was just weird.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like literally like huge. But I mean, you had huge bands. Like like the people that were coming through there.
Yeah.
They cleaned all the shit out, and like it became this like kind of big rock club. And
I remember like Kenny, like we did a tour with her. Gamblers did in 2007, and Kenny had my number, and he would just call me, just
hello,
yeah. And then he would just be like, "Hey, so we started playing these rodeos, and they're just great to play." Like just telling me these stories about like where they started playing some more and stuff. So that makes
were you out? Was that them and Eagles?
Eagles of Death Metal, yeah. And it was fun. It was a blast. I still have my little laminate from it. And Joan was so nice. And then when I saw her again in 2014 at RFK, she was all happy to see me, and Dougie was there, and I gave her a big hug, and it was great.
She's genuine like that, man. I mean, and I've seen enough from playing with all these people that we play with, man, that like we're just, we're just a different breed. I think that's why I kind of do well there, is because like it also wasn't like, it is. Let me preface it with it. It was definitely a huge leap. I need to just say that. But I mean, like the way it's like the way we are and the way we're run and the way even like how we set up on stage, it's not much different than the Souls.
Yeah.
And very family, very like, no. Keep, don't get above your raisin, as they say.
Yeah.
In this, here, don't get above your raisin. Don't you're no bigger. Don't get and so
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's kind of how we're at. And again, I see huge things. I mean, you go into certain camps and there's like wings of things. You're like, what is that? And you're like, oh, that's Def Leppard's wardrobe wing or whatever. And you're like, holy crap! Like, it goes forever.
Or like the one guy.
Or whatever. Whoever. I mean, you're just. It gets a little you know?
It can get a little...
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a show. I mean, that's what you're there for. I mean, there is Broadway, there's things, there's plays. I mean, you put on that's kind of what we do. Like, our uniforms are just a little different.
Yeah.
I mean, all I really need from here is to put on, like, a black T-shirt.
And you could play a show.
Literally, like, that's really, like, not a lot of...
That's rad, dude.
She had a whole thing, but again, because it's not on us, like it's on, it's more on,
Yeah, it's supporting her. Yeah.
I mean, you had the thing.
Yeah.
Silly if I had a feather boa behind you.
So you guys have worked on. So how's working on music with her, like new stuff? I know you guys put an EP out recently, right?
A couple years ago, a bunch of years ago.
How is that situation like as far as just like how do you guys work on that? Like does Dougie come in with something and send you stuff? And
Dougie just sent me something the other day, and then I'll take it and I'll screw with it, and then or if we have things that we sort of talk about, and then we might refine it, not refine it.
Like he'll send you like guitar, like a guitar to a click thing, and then you throw some drums on top of it or something.
Dude, you know what's funny? Like he at first could send me hardly anything, and then he was like, "Here, this is vocal 1. This is background vocal. This is good. This is guitar 1, guitar 2. Here's the soul." And I'm like, "Holy shit, dude!" Like.
Yeah,
I put it in, like it didn't actually really work the last time. I'm like, I think you're sending me too much. I think you need to compress it all into one thing. I got a lot of tracks that somehow or another I don't really need. Like, Just if you get it down to one thing and be like, it's at 170 or it's at 89, whatever. So it sort of starts there. Kind of maybe could go to like Hal, our bass player. But it really depends. I mean, or she gets in, or she and Dougie get together and start to do stuff, and then that's how I get stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's either him, but it's sometimes like with that EP, man, we wanted to just sort of do stuff and we weren't really even thinking about stuff. Quite honestly, that EP didn't start that way. That EP started with because Dougie had public offenders.
I remember. Yeah.
So, and he was like, maybe I'll start doing stuff. And so and it was over COVID when there was that whole stay at home together stuff. GoPro things, and the guy, like the engineer that Hal, our bass player, goes to, he was like, "Hey man, if you had a couple mics and a little like Focusrite thing," he's like, "we could really make these videos cooler." And I was like, "All my stuff's already mic'd up."
Yeah.
And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, all my drums are mic'd up. I have overheads. I have a Mackie board behind me. He's like, "So you just need like an interface and a DAW." He's like, "Do you have a laptop?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, okay. He's like, "Would you want to do home recording? I would help show you how to do it." He's like, "I use Cubase." And I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "Everybody uses Pro Tools, but I use Cubase."
Yeah.
Which is proven fun now. Because I really know how to use Cubase, but I'm no fucking Pro Tools. But it's okay. But yeah, he walked me through so we started to do that, and it just that's kind of how. And so he started sending me things that way.
Yeah,
they became just that, and kind of to a degree, man. But he would never push it. Hal and I would push some shit a little bit, just for a lot of different things, specifically that one. We had written other stuff with her, like where we get together, but that stuff was really just sort of like, maybe we could get Blackheart to put public offenders out. And when like Kenny's daughter, Carrie Ann, who like runs Blackheart, but we'd all be in the front lounge, right?
Yeah.
And like we'd be doing our thing, and then mysteriously all of a sudden it'd be like, and it'd be like, "What's this?" And it'd be like, "Oh, what's what? This? Oh, this is, you like this? Oh, this is Dougie and I and Hal, and we were, And they're like, no way. And it'd be like, "No, that's crazy. Do you have anything else?" You're like, "Oh, you want to hear something else? Sure. How many do you want?"
Bloop,
bloop, like just popping them down. And so she kind of, for that thing, man, there was a bunch of stuff written. And she but I mean, she went back through and like refined stuff. And we just made it more Blackheart. I mean, you know that. When you have stuff and you're like, I could tool this into like a broken gold, or I could turn this into a gambler's tune.
Yeah.
Where like one, if I speed this up a little, if I slow this down a little,
yeah,
like that.
That happens.
So we just sort of started to do stuff like that.
That happens quite a bit.
Yeah.
Where you just
lots of bands, lots of people
switch it per project. One of my last questions was, and then we'll open it up if anybody has any questions here. Has your definition of success as a musician changed today from when you were getting started?
Dude, I don't know. I think I was happier then.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't mean that I'm unhappy, because there's a lot of times where like I sit and I'm like in my space and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like I like have this like nice space and like, wow, look at all those snare drums I have. Like, that's fun, like, but it was easier. Like I was never somebody who cared really. About money. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to play.
Yeah.
Always, you know what I mean? And just being able to play. I mean, I'm just shocked. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not in my mother's basement. I still have the light. The silver clip lamp. And I was playing for the young people's theater company of Delaware Valley, and I was like in the pit band for stuff, and we were doing, I think, like Mame or Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, or something. And we were at like this community college, and you would rehearse, and then like towards the end of it, you had a couple weekends where you did performances,
Yeah.
Pardon me. And so I was like, you're in the theater department. And I was like, ooh, wow, a gel. And I got like these red gels, and I gelled the lamp with duct tape or something. Actually, not even. I think it was electrical tape.
Yeah.
And like minus like putting another panel of red on, like however many years ago. The light is the same. The tape is the exact same from when I was like 12.
Yeah, and it's in your space right now.
Tape still, and it's still over my, like right now, it's over my drums.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that I just take with me, no matter where I'm at. Like that lamp has come to.
Oh, that's nice,
space.
Man. That's rad. It's kinda, I still have my little first amp. That's awesome.
You got to have a thing.
Yeah.
It's so. I mean, definitely, I would have never thought, and also, for me especially, like. I mean, I would have always done stuff like, after the Souls and after the Rome thing, I was like in Florida and like. And I had to piece together a band for a friend of mine who was coming down from New York, King Django, this like like ska guy, and I tapped this trombone player from this band. That's the only dude I wanted. I was like, no, you're the only dude I want. Mm-hmm. And then it all fell apart, and he was like, I'm not doing it. And so then Sam was like, but my band needs a drummer, and I was like. I don't want to be in your like weird like South Florida like bar ska reggae band. Like, are you kidding me? Like, and then but then I was like, I started listening to stuff. And I was like, and everything was like they sublimed everything out. Yeah, and I was like, that's like a one drop, or that's a stepper's beat. Like that's not supposed to be like a sublime song.
Yeah,
I was like, or that's ska, or that's reggae, and I was like, oh, I could. Like, so because like the singer, guitar player, bass player, singer, like I was like, it's not that bad. It's just that your drummer sucked. Like he turned everything. He had one beat.
Yeah.
And so I started to do that. I had never done like 3 sets a night in a bar ever in my life. Yeah. Until then. So I was there, like especially when Laguna called me, and I mean, they didn't, I mean, they knew kind of like from the Souls, but I never did that. Like, dude, there was a point where I was painting, right? And there was like an Epitaph sampler and one day and it was a soul song on it. And like then the dude like the paint or my boss like the one day he's like going and I'm like, God, I gotta stop singing that song, dude. Stop singing the fucking song. Because I never went, yeah, that's me. But then one day he was like, he said something, and then I was like, yeah, dude, that's the Bouncing Souls. He's like, how did you know that? Did you look at the sampler? And I went, no, dude, I played drums on that song. Yeah. And he was like, what? So the day that I went to my boss's, like, we were at this doctor, and he like runs all these like the labs. Like if you get lab work done in South Florida, it would go through this doctor's shit. So we're like, you can imagine the house. It's on the Intercoastal. And we're like doing his like his garage where you like put down the gray and then you put the chips down and you put the ceiling over. You're walking around in weird shit, and the bosses came and I was like, "Hey man, I can't be at work next week." And they're like, "Why?" And I was like, "I gotta go up to New York and play for Joan Jett." And they were like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, really, I gotta leave. Like I got a gig." And they were like, "Don't you just play in that reggae band?" I was like, "No, dude, no." Unfortunately, no. Like, no.
Unfortunately,
even
no.
then, it was like I had to go. The next show was like a New Year's show, and I didn't go to them. I didn't call anybody. Like I didn't. So I went for the New Year's show, and I was like, "Hey, man, so I'm not going to be able to do those shows in January."
Yeah.
And they were like, and I was like, "I got to go," and they were like, "What?" Like kind of like. So like I think it's more like. It's more mind-blowing to my sister than it is for me.
Yeah.
And also because if you know her, you know Joni's she's just Joni. I mean, she just be like, "Yeah, what? It's cool, what?" She's real easy. It's not, she makes it so that you're like, okay, I'm not sitting next to a national treasure. Like, wow.
Okay,
or an icon, because she doesn't take herself like that, And also, like, we bleed red. Like, there is nobody that's better than anybody.
Yeah.
I might play, and might is the operative word. I might be one of the better drummers in the room. I might not. I don't know. You don't know who's fun. You know what I mean? You can never, and you can't have that assumption that you are.
Yeah, no.
And also, like, even social media, like, if you're friends with me. And like I don't know, and I just do it. But like if you have a birthday, I don't even know the fuck you are. I'm not even following you. I don't follow anybody.
Yeah,
I follow my friends, but you still see whose birthdays are coming up.
Yeah.
And I'll just go, "Happy birthday, Drummy," and you get like a cake and a little drum cymbal because it should be a community. Like there is nobody. I like what? I'm going to wait for you to be like, "Happy birthday, McDermott." Be like, "Yeah, that's right. You waited all year for that." Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that. Like, everybody should be there to help everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, everybody jams kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what's what? Like, show everybody what's what. Like, that's like another dude that, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen The Gamblers lately, but I haven't seen The Gamblers. And wow, that was insane. Like, I was just really like when you got done doing what's what, I stopped and I was like looking around like, did you fucking see that? Did anybody
over at Hotel Vegas?
I mean, I've been on tour with you, but still, I was just still like, again, I hadn't seen you guys forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, whew, wow.
We're doing stuff, man. Let's open it. Does anybody have any questions for our friend here? Yeah.
Let's see if I can get this out right. I wanted to ask a question kind of about, you've kind of touched on it, like in terms of confidence as a musician, like for you, like where's the sweet spot between like where I fall on the spectrum is like total like I suck, right? Like, but I'm probably better than I think versus my son who turn the fucking black lights on and rip it even though he's not that good. Like, and, like where's the like in terms of being better individually versus like say I'm gonna do gigs versus getting on a big stage, and like most industries it seems like you'd be like, hey, humble's the way to go, but rock and roll you feel like maybe you need to get out over your skis a little bit. Like where do you land on that, and what are your feelings about that?
I saw it firsthand, dude, and I'm going to give a real good example. Jay Weinberg. Weinberg, first time the kid ever set foot on a stage, he came up and played with the Souls at Asbury Lanes. Actually, but before that, we were going to do, Max was going to do Growing Up with us. So we went out to Max's farm and just to go play. And so
Max
Weinberg,
Bruce Springsteen's
drummer.
Yeah.
So he's going to play with the Souls.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do so. Anyway, I'll get to that. So we go out to when I show up, they are in this theater area, and Max is showing them. I'm late. I'm a drummer. Not really why. It was some crazy place in North Jersey. and he's got like Springsteen in Barcelona, like in his home movie theater. And when the lady was like, when the lady who answered the door, which I think is a housekeeper, when she went, they're downstairs in the movie theater. And I was like, okay. I was like kind of going down the stairs. And I'm like, how am I going to find them? And like when you got down to the bottom of the stairs and you went like this, and then you went like this, you went, oh, it looked like a movie theater.
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah.
That's the movie theater, like those kind of houses. And I was like, oh, no way.
Yeah.
So we go out to the barn, and Max is like, going to show Growing Up. And I was like, he's like, go play. I was like, I'm not playing Growing Up for you.
Yeah.
You know how to play Growing Up. You might not have recorded it, but you know how to play it. So he does that thing. Jay, he's like, do you mind if Jay plays with you guys? Jay's so excited. He knows all your stuff.
Yeah.
And so he gets up, dude. First song he calls out Manthem. He's like, I want to play Manthem. And it was like you were just like, ooh, whoa. But I mean, he like just in it, like fully, and like, but not in it. But it's like, I'm in it. And you're like, you just because your last name is Weinberg might not be.
Yeah, oh wow, yeah.
Hold on, can you do this? Let's just start here for a second. Let's go back. Anyway, dude, cut to the chase from all that and like playing with us and playing with a couple people. And then he like went away for a second, right? And you were like, and I was hearing rumors, like, and I'm like, there's no fucking way, pardon my French, there's no way Jay Weinberg is in Slipknot. And then cut to where my neighbor was like one day in Philly, and he's like, hey man, like and he doesn't know that any of this thing, but he's like, hey man, I was like, what are you doing? Like, he's like, I don't know. He's like, I might go over, like Slipknot's playing. And I was like, wait, Slipknot? And he's like, yeah, they're over right, and for where in Jersey, it's like right over. It's still considered Philly, but it's not. You're like, you're in Camden. You're not in Philly. You're in Camden.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey man, are you in my town? And he's like, dude, you got to come to the show. And I'm like, you got to fucking be kidding me. This kid's in Slipknot? I was like, you got to be out. And so I go and fully blown away. And Max and I later, Max was like, looked at me and he went, put in his 10,000 hours, didn't he? And I went, he sure did.
That's crazy.
And there's something to be said. You remember what?
I remember when he was just a little kid over at a show at the Starland Ballroom in Sayreville, and he came out when we were on tour with Against Me, and he hopped up and played with them. And then like years later, he's the drummer for Against Me.
Dude, first day I ever met him, we were at like Bamboozle, not Bamboozle, like Surf and Skate in Asbury Park.
Yeah.
I'm in catering with my wife and my daughter, and a kid comes up to me, he's in a white T-shirt that he had to Sharpie, but like, and big here said Bouncing Souls, and it would be like that song, True Believers, and all this shit. And I'm like, and so I was like, oh no way. And he's like, hey man, how you doing? And I'm like, what's up, kid? How you doing? Like not, but still nice, not like dismissive, you know.
Yeah.
And
sorry, I don't understand.
I'm not talking to you. You don't, because you know why? We're not communicating here, Siri. And he's like, just talk. He's like, drums, but he's like, yeah, my dad. And at this point, though, like, I think they were, because I'm not such a Springsteen, I don't know, but they were not really, the E Street Band really wasn't together. This is like early 2000s.
Yeah.
And I think, Springsteen was still doing stuff, but I don't think he was doing. And so he's like, yeah, my dad used to play drums for Bruce Springsteen. And I was like, oh, no way, really? Like, you're like, oh, that's cool, no way. I was like, what's your name? He's like, Jay Weinberg. I was like, I'm like, your dad's Max Weinberg? And he's like, yeah. And I was like,
yeah.
Wow. So, but for that, man, like, it's that. I would say, play, no matter what you do, play for you, man. Play because you love it. And it doesn't matter what level you get to, love it. Love what, but if you're like, but I don't love it, I can't love it, then back to part two and just put in your hours. I think there's a lot of people. There's a great spot, Kick Butt Coffee.
Yeah.
Amazing spot, amazing premise for everything. I follow them, I go there, but I'm still just like, God, you're just like, I just feel like there's so many people that are like, we got to get in a band and turn off the lights and you're like, that's not there. There's a whole other part of that we're missing. You know what I mean? And I think that the accessibility. I used to say this thing with and when there was Ozfest, and I'm like, you could really pick what you want to be in one day. Like all you got to do is be like, what do I want to be? I'm going to be an Ozfest. Okay, cool. So you go to Hot Topic, get all the Hot Topic shit that's Ozfest. Go to Guitar Center. And you're not going to get a Les Paul or a Strat. You're going to get like the BC Rich Bitch or something and some Laney amp. And like now there you are. Or if you're the kid who's like, I want to be in Warped Tour, you go get yourself a punk shirt. Go over, get yourself a Strat or something. And a Marshall, and now you're in a punk band. Like you could do that when you got home that day, you were whatever you wanted to identify as. Mm-hmm. You didn't have to be good at it, but you could. And I think with like GarageBand and now Logic, it sometimes gives everybody like a false sense of like what it really takes to sort of do it. And it's, I still, man, every day I go to my space. Not because I have a thing. I don't play Blackhearts stuff all the time. I'm in there just playing stuff, playing Bad Religion stuff. I played a whole Saves the Day record the other day because Pete Parada is a badass. Like, Sound the Alarm, if you want a drum workout, Sound the Alarm is one of the best recorded drum performances. I'll put,
Yeah.
311's music, Chad Sexton, that first record, man. I was in a band that we opened up at Wetlands, like the weekends after we did Rage Against the Machine, which you were like, what is happening? And we came back from dinner and like the place was packed. And you were like, we knew people from Epic Records, and we were like, like Mike Schnapp or Steve Possum. We're like, what's going on? He's like, this band's gonna be fucking huge. And you're like, are you kidding me? It sounded like Public Enemy with the story. And he's like, dude, wait. And like weekends later, it was like 311, and like, but you were like, wow, holy shit, like dudes that just put, do that, love it because you want to do it. And if there comes that point where you're like, I'm not getting, it's okay, then either go do something else or find a way to love it, put more time. It's really time, man. It's really with anything. It's just sitting. It's all the boring shit. It's all the shit your son doesn't want to do. He's just like, no, jump off the bed.
Yeah.
And that shit's cool. Like, dude, Chad Gilbert from Newfound Glory, and God, I can only wish him. He's in a very major health battle with cancer, and so I can only pray for him to Jah that something happens good for him. But he at Warped Tour thanked me because we were in a band. I was in a band in '96 that was very much like Rage. Like we were on tour with like the Roots and Cypress Hill and seven piece like and Limp Bizkit. So we were both in Florida, and we were both trying to get out of Florida. We both did House of Pains last weekend together. The St. Patty's Day weekend. Yeah. Limp Bizkit came out with. They were like at the end of that weekend. They were like, dude, DJ Lethal. He invited us out to their house. His house, and none of my dudes were really, but I went, game's over. I made plans to leave immediately. I was like, game's over, they won. Yeah. I mean, we weren't really getting anywhere anyway, but like they were like, you have Fat Harry Tyler, the Florida promoter who's giving you everything, and this band, like now DJ Lethal, and sure enough, dude, like, bang. I still think that's funny. They're bigger than ever now. And I'm like, holy shit.
Limp Bizkit?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, that's wild. Like, but I mean, like, it's just putting your time in, man. And again, loving. What do you play?
Guitar.
And who do you like?
It's loaded. A lot of 90s alternative.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, do you have, with that, I mean, and there's also that, like, if pick guitar things that you like. Pick guitar things that you can play. I mean, I'll tell you quite honestly, man, when I go play stuff, I mean, I skip over some stuff that I'm like, oh no, Brooks has his, that's a double bass heavy one. Ooh, hold on. Yeah. I think you also have to find, it took me a long time to figure out like where I fit, where my zone was, and feel good about my zone. Yeah. You know what I mean? And be like, I like where I'm at. Like, there's a lot of kids, man, like, that are just like, it's 30 seconds of like gospel chops and stuff, and you're like, and every time I watch that, I go, I'd be fired. Every like, I mean, like, anybody who knows Joni, that she'd turn to me like, get the fuck off my stage, like immediately, like that would be just unacceptable. I mean, and there's that, like, those kids don't get it, like it's like, kid, if you can't just do a solid 2 and 4 or 4 on the floor, like, you're never gonna get employed, and like, so. whatever you play something that like you like, and play stuff then even under you, so that then you start to dominate it a little bit. I mean, there's something a little bit about that, like ball, like when you know, some ball players go back and play with like, and you know, because they get a little more playing time, they get to excel a little bit more.
It's a weird balance.
It's odd, man, where you have to kind of feel a little bit better to get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it does sort of go hand in hand, and however that works, you know. But it does. It's like I've been like really with my girlfriend. I'm like not meaning like that, but like I'm gonna go play again. And like I had to kind of go. I'm really unlocking doors, and she gets it fully. She's like oh cool, you know. Just where like I'm hitting strides where things are for me, you know what I mean. And I'm just like I don't want to stop. I just want to keep, you know. Yeah. So just that, man. It's really just that. Anyway, sorry for the long-winded one.
It's all right. Yo, Baker.
Hey, so thank you for being here. This has been so much
Dude,
fun.
thank you guys for coming. No.
I know that we're like over, so I want to be respectful, but I have...
Dude, no, I'm not. I got nowhere to go. There is a drum swap for drummers, but we still have hours left. Don't worry about it. Come and take it live. There's a drum swap in the parking lot. Right. Which anyway.
So I do have a drum question, and then I have a band question. If that's
Sure.
all right. The drum question is, do you play with a click like at practice, rehearsal, live when you're actually performing? Any or all? Does it depend on the tune you're playing? And then my band question is, it sounds like from early on, you know, you were like really committed in some really like serious groups that were doing tours and everything like that. But it sounds like you were in a lot of bands. Were you doing all this at the same time? Did you kind of go from one band to the next? How did you sort of know when it was time to go from one band to the next? Because especially if you just like to play, it sounds like you had the opportunity to probably stick with the first band you were in maybe, you know, and miss some of the other ones. Like, how do you kind of decide to go from one to the next?
I mean, the first time that sort of happened was like in my parents' basement, and like coming up, and my friends would leave, and like my sister went, "Dude, you got to go." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "You're past them." She's like, "There was my older sister who gave me like and was like, and his name was Skinny." She's like, "You're better than Skinny, dude." She's like, "I love Skinny. You know I love Skinny." She's like, "But Skinny can't play guitar." She's like, "And it's holding you back." So like that, like, and so that's sort of I feel like I've always carried that into other things, and you sort of know. Souls, when I left the Souls, man, we were on. We were probably never better live. I finally was like sat back and didn't feel like I needed to be this like Danny Carey of punk rock and just like all over the place, spazzy. I listen to stuff now and I'm like, stuff comes on and I'm just like, oh god. I'm just like, I'm mortified by some of the shit that I play that I. Oh, like I hear Jody going, "Yeah, does that feel good?" I'm just like, oh god, it didn't feel that good. It doesn't feel good now.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so shameful. Like no. So that that was more of like an opportunity to try to do something, you know, and it was always that but I never like stepped on anybody and there's always like another good one is if you take a, you know, like had I had gigs, you know, I wouldn't be able to, even though, I mean, it changes a little bit on something like when there's something so drastically bigger, where your bandmates would go, "Dude, you have to go do this."
Yeah.
But most of the time, you're like, "Dude, I'm sorry, I committed us to go to Europe. I'm going to Europe." And they're like, "But the Chili Peppers are calling." And you're like, "But we're going to Europe. I'm sorry." But that's you. That's your own honor and integrity that you have to want to keep up. Click. Yes, not really live. I recorded live, like when we did that Mindsets thing. Anything I record with her, I do because that's on me. Because you're only going for me, and I sort of demanded it, and sort of expecting it to not. But it was like, yeah, whatever you want to do. You know.
Did you have the click in your ears?
Yeah.
And
she doesn't have to hear it.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, you're. You know, and a lot of that stuff, man, we're like so rehearsed that she like that mindset stuff. Like it was like, you do it once, she'll go, "Let's do it again."
Yeah,
you do it again. She'll go, "Cool, let's go in and listen to it." And one of those is going to be it.
It's done. Yeah,
you better, you know what I mean? Like you better.
Yeah.
You know. There was during Mindsets, we got done. And then, and there's like a song they're like called "Whiskey Goes Good."
Yeah,
that's my favorite one.
Okay, So I'm completely faced on mushrooms at that point. I thought the whole day was over, and she was like, here, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a part of the team, but okay, I'm going to be a good teammate. And I was like, it's over, and blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, but listening to something, they're like, we should go do that again. And I was like, no, we shouldn't. And I was like, let's just go do that. But I couldn't be like, so I did. And then like after that, I was like, I'm going to go. And like we were staying at the Washington Square Hotel, and I hit like Washington Square Park, and I was just like, just get me to my room. I just want to go to my room. So that was a Dougie. That one should have never made it. That was one like a thing where Dougie sent me, and it's not even, he didn't even record it. It was like him on a phone, and I just took it and put it in and sent it to Hal, and I was like, and sent it back, and that became this thing that, and I'm kind of.
A lot of Joan fans did not like it, but I loved it.
The what?
A lot of the Joan.
Oh
fans,
yeah.
It's kind of country-ish.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's a great song.
It was just, man, to do music, like, it's like, just, I was stoked that they were open to do all sorts of stuff, so.
That's rad.
But, Click, yes, not live for Joni. She wants to, there's like, Soul's the same way. We didn't use a click either, and there was a lot of like push and pull, or like, verses are one speed, and maybe you come up a couple BPMs for the chorus, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, so there is a lot of that push and pull, which I think also does make music kind of real. I've played, and you have to be really good playing with a click to be able to like dance around and make it feel really good. I mean, but I record stuff all the time, and I have to, and that's something that I'll even do like within. If I'm, when I send somebody something, I'll like, just for their approval or not, I'll have their track in it, but there's a point where I go and I shut that off, and it's just me and the click. So I'm like, because ultimately that's a scratch track for them. So it's like, this is what you're going to actually record to. And then like, because most of the time, and especially the last thing I just did, it was odd. I'm like, God, I was like, why doesn't it sound right? And then I shut him off, and I'm like, there you go. I was like, that sounds right. But it was like he was trying to put together everything that's sort of on a keyboard, putting everything, and so like, just was a little wonky.
Yeah.
That was the thing that Sammy K sent me to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Super cool. But I mean, yeah. But I'm a big fan of the click. I would use it live if we could, because it's just nice, man. Like, it's really, I don't know, like, I love it. I mean, it's something that you can just. It's like a guide rope, like on Everest or something. Like, I wouldn't want to do that with nothing. I'd be like,
yeah.
If I could swing off of like a metal wire, I'd be like, that's cool. But like,
yeah,
that I think is kind of what that's like. You know what I mean? And it's just habit.
Cool. Thank you.
So,
rad.
Sir.
Okay, how long have you been with SJC drums, and why is the snare drum on Summer Vacation so tingy? Is it a metal snare? Did you just crank the top head as tight as you could go?
It wasn't even really that cranked, and I think that was I feel like that was a maple Ludwig.
It just rings out.
Dude.
It's such a ding on the record.
Yeah.
I like it though. I like it.
That's probably also like the production value. That's probably like a John Seymour thing, and how he recorded me or something.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. I'm not like a big fan like that, like how the metal dudes like that, like crank so tight. You did that. I mean, you could sometimes do that. I think I maybe used to do that when I was a kid, here and there. But like, you realize that it's like, it's like so grating kind of. SJC, I probably could have gone with super early on when Mike and his brother were just still making snare drums in their grandmother's garage, and I didn't. I went with it because they're Boston and Souls are Jersey, so I went with a Jersey company called Dark Horse Percussion. And also I just liked Anthony from Dark Horse. He now has Black 35 guitars, is what he does. But he's like a doctor, like 3 times over. He's like always like, I'm going for my doctorate of blah, blah, blah. I'm going for my doctorate. And you're like, Jesus Christ. Like, so clearly he didn't, the drum thing sort of spazzed out after a number of years. I like SJC, like their stuff, like for what I have and like out of the box, you know what I mean? It's like super, really great. Mike just left SJC, which I'm a little like, so that's an odd question. If I answer that correctly, I'm still there, but I'm really like, do I want to be there? You know, I mean,
Yeah, because
he's gone.
I got a custom kit from Mike, basically. So
You got a few kits from him?
I got a custom shop, basically.
Okay, yeah.
So,
What's yours look like? What do you have?
show you. It's
You
kinda
can.
I gotta find a photo.
You can.
So you guys keep talking about it.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
I've got another question.
Yes, sir.
You know, you've been around, so have I. Not since like the Roaring '20s, but like a good piece of like the music industry and how it's really changed a lot,
Yeah.
right? If you were 18 right now, based on what you've seen and kind of what you foresee as the industry, and you were like, I'm a drummer, I love drumming, but I don't want to be the artist. Where are the opportunities in the music world right now?
I mean, I think there's a lot. It's rough, man. I mean, it's still there's a lot of like who you know. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of that. Like
There's jobs that are gone.
Oh yeah.
There's jobs that they're probably showing up. I mean, with like, is it all tech stuff basically at this point?
No. I mean, you can find like look at even like
I'm just curious.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not switching jobs.
No, but I mean, like look at like say even Coachella, and there's like a lot of just artists. You know what I mean? That like need like just a drummer or need a backing band. You know, there's a lot of that happening now where people just need a band. A lot of, you know, I have a friend who just did, there's I think a girl in town, I don't want to say her name wrong, Lauren Lackey's.
Oh, yeah.
LAKIS or something, but she just kind of has a band. There's a lot of opportunity for that, for there to be like players. And even in this town, I think there's a lot of great, you know, opportunity just to play out. There's a girl, Lindsay Beaver. I don't know if you know Lindsay, man, but like you'll see her one time and she'll be playing drums with this band, and then she's now playing acoustic guitar and singing for this band. And then she's like, I mean, it's really how much hustle you want to
What
have.
about like not as the artist though? Like
No, she's not the artist. I mean,
I mean like not on stage at all. Like production wise.
Oh, I mean, what? Oh, yeah, dude, no, that's huge. Yeah, you could still find that all over the place. I mean, again, it still sort of goes hand in hand though with like the other side of kind of like you need somebody like on the inside to kind of be like, what do you want to do? Like, we need a video guy, or we need a guitar guy, or you know what I mean, you need something like that and somebody to kind of give you a little. But then again, that's also like. I don't know Lindsay Beaver, but I know her now because I see her all the time. I mean, even just now, my girlfriend and I call it the Lindsay Beaver thing. We saw her. We were at like some like I don't even know like a fair, like craft thing where like people selling, and there was like entertainment, and we were staying because we saw this girl while we were having coffee, and we're like, oh my god, I think she's the next girl up, and she was like. Full country wig thing. You're like, I gotta see this. I gotta see.
Yeah.
With this. We got to go around front. We were in the back on the back side of the stage. I was like, I need to go around front. And she comes out and I was like, Lindsay Beaver, and my girlfriend was like, it's not Lindsay Beaver. And I'm like, I'm telling you, that's Lindsay Beaver. And she's like, how do you? I was like, she's everywhere. And like next thing you know, when she got introduced and she was like, Lindsay on guitar, she turned to me and I was like, told you. Yeah, I was like, that girl is hustling because I've seen her everywhere. I've seen her kick butt. I've seen her
She's just
play
playing
drums
everything.
for Danny B. Harvey, and then I've seen her play. But in the same time, be down at like Antone's playing a guitar for somebody. Like it's wild. I mean, like that hustle.
I've got a buddy of mine that's kind of like that too. This guy Jim Campo. He just kind of shows up. It's like, what are you doing here? Oh, you're in this band too. You're in that band too. Yeah. But I think that also takes sort of like. I don't know, like when people find out that you say yes to a lot of stuff, that is when you end up getting a lot of phone calls because, I mean...
but I mean, having more phone calls than no phone calls is a better position. But then trying to field what you take, like what's worth the thing and not worth the thing.
My friend Bobby said it. He says, what did he say?
Bass player Bobby?
Your bass player Bobby. He's like...
He's a handsome guy.
He's like, man, the best part's getting the phone call. And he's like, after that...
the best part, right? He's literally, After that.
He's like, the best part's getting the phone call. Then you got to deal with all bullshit
and then try to figure out, can I do that? Does it fit? What do I- You know, But I mean, the stuff is there. I mean, you can definitely. I don't know what you want to do or what you would
I
want.
don't want to do shit. I was just curious.
Dude. There's plenty of like. I mean, all the
I'm
time.
gonna be a lawyer and play guitar in my room.
There you go.
That's the smartest thing in the world, right?
Yeah.
I want to work for you, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, but that with guitar playing, man, just love it. I mean, you clearly, you're old enough that just start and play stuff that like is past you that makes it hard, but then also play stuff that's easy that you can just rule, that you're like, that you can turn the lights off and be like, let me show you here, Ricky. Let me show you how this happens.
Yeah.
This is Dad jumping off the bed. Watch this.
Yeah.
But I can.
Wife, like, fuck it. Can we go watch Netflix?
Awesome. Dude, thank you so
Dude,
much.
thank you, everybody, for
Yeah,
coming
thank
out.
you so much, man.
Wait, hold on. We need a picture of the drums. He's got.